What's up, guys? I'm back. How you guys doing? I know it's been a little second since I made a video, but be on the lookout for the live stream tonight. We're gonna be doing the final hour of SmackDown and the overview. I will be making this video right before SmackDown, right? Let's talk about Raw right before we see this SmackDown that barely has anything even announced for it. So right out the gate, you pretty much know that it's gonna be a whole bunch of filler, just random repetitive matches happening tonight. But yes, let's get to the point of the video. The point of the video is that there's no black women on Raw. Like, I never see anyone talk about this or anything, but it's true. And it's been like this before Bianca and them gave up the tag team belts either. It's like no black women on Raw. And to be honest, there's not really any black men on Raw either. Now, I've been saying this for a long time, is that Mr. H has always wanted SmackDown to be the garbage show and Raw to be the better show. Just like when Vince was in power. When Vince was in power, SmackDown was the show that tended to do the better numbers, even though it was the 2 hour show. And Raw would be the show that tends to catch up with SmackDown. Now, ever since Mr. H came into power, when he did the bootleg drafts that made no sense, but notice that he ain't did one yet again this year, right? Where was it this year? Because now he has people where he wants them to be. The drafts was never to really spark nothing or spice anything up like a real draft should. Instead, it was just used to put most of the people that he do like on Raw and majority of the people that he don't like on SmackDown. Now, isn't it crazy how I'm saying, there's no black women on Raw or barely any black men on Raw, but then you go to SmackDown and they're all on SmackDown. Jade, Naomi, Bianca, Street Profits, they're all on SmackDown. Carmelo, they're all on SmackDown. And SmackDown would be the show that obviously Mr. H cares less about. He cares less about the show. He wants Raw to be the big deal, to be the big thing. And that's why the main focus has been on Raw. That's why Raw tends to be better than SmackDown, because this is what he puts more effort in, and this is where more of his favorites book stars are. So you're bound to see slightly better stuff, because that's where most of his favorites are at, is on Raw. And then it's like a handful of jobbers, where on SmackDown it's like majority jobbers, and then it's like a handful of the people that he actually likes, like a Tiffany Stratton, you know. And it's just to me, I find this to just be strange and odd and honestly embarrassing. And this goes right along with the stuff that I was saying. Remember, I was saying this for the longest. I was like, one of the only reasons why he did put the belts on Jade and Naomi is so he can have an excuse to be like, oh look, there's black women on Raw. But now that's done and over with now. Right, Elimination Chamber was the last time when Bianca started being on Raw. Now that she's lost that out of that, now just no one's on Raw. Cause Kay Carter, Katana Chance got moved to SmackDown. So yes, there is none on Raw. Not one. Not one. And who are the black men on Raw? The New Day? That's it? Like, that's it? The New Day? That's it? And yeah, we got people like Jay Uso, who is melanated. He's melanated. But I'm talking about like actual, like, American black like superstars, like, but Jay Uso, you know, it's just him, like Jimmy, nobody else really there. Raw is just really lacking any type of just melanation, period. When you kind of think about it, it's like, dang, you can go a whole episode of Raw and never see a black woman. And in the New Day, you might barely ever see them. Even with the tag belts, you might not see them do that much. You might not. But then go to SmackDown and you see Carmelo Hayes putting on big gold chains, Andre the Giant. It's just all the effery is happening on SmackDown. It's just something I have to point out, man, because this has been clear as obvious as day, but I never hear anyone speak on this. And it's like, yeah, they're just not there. And honestly, I think he don't want them there. I feel like he doesn't want them on Raw because this is his show. He rather you look at, let me see, like Rhea, right? EO, what they're doing, and all right, Bianca's out the mix. You see, he's starting to add more of these NXT girls, which I find strange because why in the world are you not adding any of the higher up NXT men? We get Roxanne Perez, we get the Julia girl. Man, we didn't have them all. We even had Jordan Grace in the Royal Rumble. We got right, the Stephanie Valkyrie. You got all these NXT girls coming over, but we can't get a Obi Femi. We can't get a Trick Williams. So we can't get that. I forget the other guy's name that was just in that feud with them too. But we can't get none of them. But we can get Joe Hendry from TNA, and now Joe Hendry is now appearing on NXT and getting into feuds and fights at NXT. So that just letting you know they're finna throw him in. Sooner or later, Joe Hendry is gonna be on the main roster because he already TNA champion and now showing up on NXT and already got a WrestleMania match on right on WrestleMania. So he's finna be skyrocketed, pushed to the moon. I was noticing that with the Royal Rumble. I was like, wow, look at all these NXT girls coming, but where are the dudes? Then you go to the men's Royal Rumble and they had none. They had no dudes from the NXT on there. I don't think they had not a single one in the last one. But we got some joke characters thrown in the mix though, but nope. So what's up with that? But you see, he'll bring all them Stephanie Valkyries and Roxanne Perez. He'll bring all them over there. But what? What happened to Last Legend? What happened to Jakara Jackson? Why you don't bring them out no more? They was getting used for a little minute. Why are they not being used anymore? So it's like you see, that's why a lot of the messed up stuff happens on SmackDown because that's where most of the minorities are, and that's where most of the older Vince talents that he don't like anymore because he just wants you to care about what he pushing his at. Right? Like you look at that SmackDown roster and it seriously is just full of jobbers. Carmelo Hayes, jobber, The Miz, jobber, the whole El Gato Phantasma group, jobbers. Bianca Belair pretty much is a jobber at this point. Pretty much Jade Cargill seems kind of jobberish right now. She kind of does. She ain't really did nothing special. Nia Jax was a jobber. She already jobbed out to Tiffany. She's a jobber. Naomi done lost repeatedly. She's a jobber. It's just a bunch of jobbers on. Oh, Malachi Black comes back, but he's finna beat up a jobber Miz and then probably just be a jobber in the future. It's more than that. It's more than that. Isn't Andrade over there too? He's a jobber. And then you got the tag team division, just all is a circle jerk of jobbers. Like all the the Street Profits got it, but honestly, it ain't really no difference than when DIY had it or Motor City Machine Guns. They're just a circle jerk of jobbers. Michin, jobber, right? Zelina finally won. She was a jobber, but she finally won. Piper Niven, jobber. That Alba Fire, I guess she gonna be a jobber. And we'll see what they do with Chelsea. We'll see what they do with her after what happened. And Jacob Fatu, he won, but he was pretty much a jobber. Solo as a jobber. Shinsuke as a jobber now. Man, I'm just really trying to go through the list here because I'm like, man, most of them really are jobbers, and it really ain't too many favorites. Damian Priest is pretty much a jobber now. He's a jobber. Kane Carter, Katana Chance, jobbers. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Why is there no black people on Raw? What is this? Why is this? It's like just make it so blatant. Like if that is not proof that why they had them tag team belts, I don't know what is. I swear that's the only reason I felt like he gave it to him. Besides to lower them, because doing that keeps them out of the big car mix. So it was two. It was for both reasons. It was to keep them out of the big lane, and also to have some excuse to be like, hey, look, we got black women on Raw. When they're not there because they're on the roster, they were just there because they had the belts. And then when they lost the belts, it was just Bianca just there because she was in one elimination chamber. When in reality, she could have been on both shows at the same time. Just because she won elimination chamber doesn't mean she couldn't be on both shows. But Mr. H didn't do that. He just wanted her to be on Raw when she was going to be the worst one out in the feud anyways. You see, at the end of the day, Io and Rhea are going to rematch and fight again. Bianca just out the picture with a kayfabe injury because nothing was written for her. Now she's finally back on SmackDown when she could have been on SmackDown, and now she has a kayfabe injury now. Nothing was written for her. Just like it wasn't written for her to really have anything out of winning chamber. One chamber for nothing. Won it for nothing. Now after this, now he probably will have Bianca go for Jade or something next or something. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be ridiculous. SmackDown is full of the jobbers. It's just jobber fest on SmackDown. All his little likable people are on Raw. You see, he even pretty much kind of moved Roman to Raw, even though Roman is like a jobber now too, which makes no sense at all. Didn't even want to give Roman an extra chance or an extra shot. This man did all of that for nothing to now be jobbing out to Seth Rollins in moon boots. Coming out wearing glasses with eyeballs on them, looking weird as hell. This is who it's for, huh? Please hit that like button, man. Tell me what you guys think, man, and I'll see y'all on the later one, man. Peace out.